All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about, we're going to practice how to prepare for a book club conversation. This is what you'll do during the share in our unit. And to help you understand that and how to prepare for it, I want to introduce to you maybe a new term. You know what a potluck is? It's a potluck party. Have you heard that before? Okay, so in a potluck, it's like we're going to have a party, and each person is responsible for bringing some food item. Okay, so we have 17 students in our class. If we have a potluck, okay, you'd have to bring enough food. You'd have to bring one item that would have enough to serve everyone. Actually, I don't think you have to serve everyone, but you have to bring one item, right, that nobody else is bringing. So, like, Gio is going to bring a carrot cake, and Evan's going to bring kalbichim, and Ryan is going to bring his rice cooker and a big thing of rice, and Daniel's going to bring kimchi, and Fred is going to bring a couple pizzas. Durang's going to bring samgyeopsal. Gio's going to bring. Everybody's going to bring one item, right? And together we have this really awesome meal, right? Now, what would happen? What would happen if only Gio brought food? Would that be a good party? Would you have a nice dinner? Stella, would you have a nice dinner? You're expecting 17 different dishes, and there's only one. What's going to happen? Empty stomachs, right? It's not a real party. So I want you to think of this potluck party as a book club conversation. Because if you come, right, if you come or you go to your book club conversation without being prepared, spoils the party. Right? You can't have a good conversation about your books if you don't prepare. Okay, so I've got one of my favorite quotes up there. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Okay? Don't forget it. That's what we're going to practice today. So to do that, I'm going to read a short section of Fast Food Nation. I'm going to model some of the thinking that should happen. And then you're going to get a chance to try it. Okay? But before, I have hey guys, I need you to move. Somebody move down. Durang, why don't you just come slide down next to Kate? So in this section of the book, they're describing how McDonald's was first created. Okay? So prior to fast food, there were drive-in restaurants. And that's what the first McDonald's was. Okay, so like right here, right here, you see this is a drive-in restaurant. This woman, the name of that job is called a car hop. You'll hear that in the reading, a car hop. Like this. Car hop. Okay, that's a job title. what would happen is that you drive up to the restaurant, okay, you're in your parking spot. This woman comes over and takes your order. Goes back into the restaurant, brings out your food on a tray, and hangs it on your door. Okay, often they wore roller skates to go faster. They were very good, I guess. So that's what the drive-in restaurant was like, okay? And you need to understand this to understand this section on the creation or formation of McDonald's. Now the section is called Speedy Service. Speedy Service, okay? So as I read, okay, what I'm going to be thinking in my head, right, is I want to notice a fascinating part, and then I'm going to mull that part over. And Miss B and I, we argued again today because she said that mull is a really cool word, and I think it's one of my least favorite words, mull. I don't like the way it sounds. It reminds me of like being stuck in the mud or in the snow. For some reason, I don't like it. But what it means is to think slowly and deeply about something. And I think this is the word. You know this word? Yes? It just magically appeared on the magic mirror of words. Did you see that? It's over there too. So that's what I'm going to show you as I read through this. You ready? All right, so I'm going to do it, and you're going to do it with the same reading. And then when you go back to your desks, this is what you do with your books. Why? So you go to your book club talks prepared. Right? You really learn from them and deepen your understanding of the content. So here we go. By the end of the 1940s, the McDonald's brothers had grown dissatisfied with the drive-in business. They were tired of constantly looking for new car hops and short-order cooks, who were in great demand, as the old ones left for higher-paying jobs elsewhere. They were tired of replacing the dishes, glassware, and silverware their teenage customers constantly broke or ripped off. And they were tired of their teenage customers. The brothers thought about selling the restaurant. Instead, they tried something new. The McDonald's fired all their car hops in 1948, closed their restaurant, installed larger grills, and reopened 3 months later with a radically new method of preparing food. It was designed to increase the speed, lower prices, and raise the volume of sales. The brothers eliminated almost 2/3 of the items on their old menu. They got rid of everything that had to be eaten with a knife, spoon, or fork. The only sandwiches now sold were hamburgers or cheeseburgers. To fill a typical order, one person grilled the hamburger, another dressed and wrapped it, and another prepared the milkshake, another made the fries, and another worker worked at the counter. For the first time, the guiding principles of a factory assembly line were applied to a commercial kitchen. The new division of labor meant that a worker only had to be taught how to perform one task. Skilled and expensive short-order cooks were no longer necessary. All the burgers were sold with the same condiments: ketchup, onions, mustard, and 2 pickles. No substitutions were allowed. The McDonald's brothers' speedy service system revolutionized the restaurant business. An ad of theirs seeking franchises later spelled out the benefits of the system. Imagine, no car hops, no waitresses, no dishwashers, no busboys. The McDonald's system is self-service. Okay, so there we have it, right? That's how the idea of McDonald's formed. right? Two brothers unhappy with their drive-in business. Right, so they take the factory assembly line. You know what an assembly line is? What's the Korean word for assembly line? It's not on the magic mirror yet, but it will be. So how does an assembly line work?
There's a conveyor belt, and then there's lots of working lines, and then they each have a job that they need to do while the conveyor belt objects on the conveyor belt moves on.
Right, so let's say that I'm building a bicycle. Okay? I'm building a bicycle. What's going to be faster? If I say, Lucas, here's the box, build the bicycle. Go do it. Right? That's one option. But the other option is, and Lucas, he's a skilled bike builder. He has lots and lots of knowledge. It took a long time for him to become that good at building bikes. But the other option is, I take 10 of you, and your job is just to put the chain on. Your job is to put on the handlebars. Your job is the pedals. Your job is the gears. Your job is the brakes. Right? And the bike just goes along the line until it's complete. So which one's going to happen faster? Which bike will be built faster? This one, right? And which one will require more training? So I got to teach you how to do one thing, and one thing, and one thing, and one thing. Or I got to teach you how to do it all. What's going to be easier for me?
One thing, one thing.
Yeah, teaching you one thing. You know why? Because if you're late, I can fire you. And then when someone else comes, I only got to teach them one thing. Dip the fries, right? So that's the assembly line. Now, as I read through this, many things jumped out at me. One is the reason they got rid of the drive-in business. They didn't like teenagers. Teenagers were destroying their property, right? So their teenagers are taking the spoons and like bending them and taking them home and throwing them at each other. And out here, they're dropping stuff. Plates are getting smashed and broken and run over. And I thought, wow, maybe it could be that the idea for McDonald's is from broken spoons and stolen forks. Because that would be amazing. Right? If fast food, the reason we have fast food is because teenagers stole silverware. That would be pretty cool, I think. Right? So for me, I might think, okay, you know, where was this drive-in? Was it in a nice part of town? A bad part of town? Which state was it in? You know, these are questions I might ask. Right? And these kinds of things are what I would write in my notebook. And then when I go to my book club talk, my conversation during the share, I say, hey guys, I'm curious about how this happened. Or I'm wondering this. Right? What do you think about this? See that up there? Reference pages in the book. On page 118 it says, what do you think? Why did this happen? It reminds me of when I used to jump on ketchup packets when I was a kid. Right? I bet that restaurant owner hated me too. Okay, so we can reference the text. Now you're going to get a chance to try. I have that same section for you right here. Take one, pass it around. Thank you guys. And your job, okay, is to quickly skim through, because I already read it to you. Find a spot that fascinates you. Think deeply about it. Ask questions about it to yourself, and then give me a thumbs up when you've found the spot. Okay, so you're reading through. You're looking for something in there that captures your attention, it's fascinating, it's interesting, it's shocking, and then give me a thumbs up. Just find the spot first. Find the piece of information that captures your attention. As soon as you have it, give me a thumbs up. Shouldn't take long. Yeah, I see one thumb. Need more thumbs. What jumps out at you? What captures your attention? What fascinates you? What's unbelievable? What makes you go like this? Right? What causes that reaction? Okay, turn and talk. Quickly share that fascinating piece of information with the person next to you.
For me, I did. First, the guiding principles of factory assembly are applied commercial. Kind of for me, it was McDonald's throughout this first factory line. It's just like, it was a new revolution to commercial and a lot of commercial confusion.
You remember the hands, right? Now, what you're doing, okay, you've noticed that fascinating spot, that interesting piece of information. Okay? You shared it. Okay? What you do next is mull over it, you think deeply about it. Right? You ask yourself some questions about it. Why? I may have asked, was it really kids breaking silverware that caused them to remove all items requiring silverware from their menu? Maybe they noticed that 90% of the food they sold was hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and fries. Maybe. Right, so I would ask the question, what else is involved in that decision? Is it just teenagers? So I want to hear one from you. So how about Daring Dave? Dave, what's the piece of information that you shared with a partner? They fired all their car hops. Why did that fascinate you? Right, so that's a big, imagine you're a restaurant owner. Right, and there are a lot of these, right, that work for you. It's not one or two people. So you guys, all of you, you're fired. Go home. Find a new job. And that's a pretty bold move, right? Firing most of your staff. So what questions? Let's imagine we're a big book club right now. What questions might we ask about this firing of all the car hops? What might we ask? Cooks were fired too. Not just the car hops. What questions might we ask? Right? What do you think?
Did they face any extra challenges after the car hops were fired?
Right, so did they face any extra challenges after the car hops and cooks were fired? Maybe I'd ask, did they know how to cook? Were the McDonald's brothers chefs? Or just guys, right, who knew how to cook burgers on a grill in their backyard? What other questions might I ask? What about those people that were fired? Were they compensated? Did they receive any money? Yeah, you know, you go to work one day and your boss is like, "You're fired. We're closing." What happened to them? More questions. Right? So this is what needs to happen in the book club, right? You notice something that captures your attention. You write it down in your notebook. You think deeply about it. You ask yourself questions. Why did this happen? What happened to these people? Maybe this happened. And then you bring it to your book club, and that's what you share. And then your book club conversation becomes valuable, right? Because it has lots of good information, lots of interesting information, and it deepens your understanding of the book, right? And that's our goal, right? To become better readers of nonfiction. One of the ways we do that is through fruitful book club conversations, and we make them that way by preparing, okay? By going through these steps. Are you ready to do that today? Yes? Okay. Fighting, Dave. Now look, you've got 30 minutes to read. So before you start, talk to your partner and say, "Last night I read for 30 minutes and I read 20 pages."